Here's your news for May 24th, 2020, and your headlines for today. WWE finds a lost tape. A documentary on it is coming up soon. Mike Tyson is finally all elite. Tony Khan and Chris Jericho donate significant amounts to Shad Gaspard's GoFundMe. Unexpected guest at WWE backstage. WWE reportedly introducing 2 new title designs soon. Purpose behind mysterious new WWE trademark revealed. WWE quietly setting the stage for Undertaker's final match. We are kicking off today with news from NXT, as next week's show will see a special cage fight between Matt Riddle and Timothy Thatcher with a very special guest referee. Yesterday, the WWE announced that Kurt Angle will serve as the guest official for the match, marking the Olympian's first appearance for the company since his release last month, which was part of the company's cost-cutting measures. This match will certainly be a unique contest, as the former tag team will battle in a cage where the only way to win is via knockout or submission. Despite his departure as a producer, it's clear that Angle is still on good terms with WWE, and there's no doubt that having the wrestling machine involved will make this fight all that more interesting. Back to AEW now, and during last night's Double or Nothing event, it was confirmed that AEW All Out 2020 will be happening. The company confirmed that the show that started it all will take place on September 5th, and though no venue was confirmed, fans can get excited knowing All Out is set to return in some way. Back to WWE, and this week's edition of WWE Backstage will see the return of Jeff Jarrett. The WWE Hall of Famer was confirmed for the show in a tweet by the official WWE on Fox Twitter account, and it'll be interesting to see what Double J has to say about his career and various topics when the show goes live on FS1 next Tuesday. From one former TNA World Champion to another now, as though Sting is no longer under contract with WWE, that hasn't stopped the company from creating a new special about the Vigilante. WWE Network News is reporting that the new show, titled Sting: The Lost Tape, will air on May 31st and include never-before-seen footage from Slamboree 1995, where he took on Big Bubba Rogers, aka the Big Boss Man, in the semi-main event. Following his departure from WWE, there's been plenty of talks about Sting joining AEW, as he recently praised Lance Archer, and while Cody Rhodes is more than happy to tease the Icon's arrival, it remains to be seen where the Icon will go next. Now, we all know that WWE has recently introduced a lot of new title designs, with the Intercontinental Championship being the last big change last November, and it looks like the company isn't finished yet. As reported by Twitter user Dan Belzer, who broke the stories of both the Intercontinental and Universal titles being changed last year, the company is looking to change 2 titles down the line. Belzer, aka Beltfan Dan, said that while one will be a modification on an existing design, another will be entirely different, and that replicas are already in production. Though Dan didn't specify which titles will be changed, rumors recently circulated that the US title will be getting a new look, 17 years after this current design debuted, and with current champion Andrade and Apollo Crews set to face off for the gold this Monday, either man could be getting a new championship design very soon. We've got news regarding the death of Shad Gaspard next, as the GoFundMe campaign set up to help his family has received some major donations. This week, AEW president Tony Khan dropped $10,000 to the cause, while former AEW World Champion Chris Jericho donated $5,000, which will go towards the Gaspard family's bills and expenses, as well as the college fund of his son Araya. As if that wasn't enough, an anonymous user known only as CTC donated a hefty $40,000 to the cause, with some speculation that the mystery donor is John Cena, and that CTC stands for Crime Time C Nation, a brief group that appeared on Raw over a decade ago. Though no money will ever make up for Shad's death, it's great to see that so many people are helping his wife Ciliana, as she and the Gaspard family need all the help they can get at this terrible time. We've got some news from AEW next, as Britt Baker was pulled from Double or Nothing, and now we have details on how severe her injury is. During the event, Dr. Sampson revealed that Baker fractured her tibia and tore her right knee LCL, but gave no timeline on when she'll be back. Instead, Baker will appear on this Wednesday's Dynamite to talk about her injuries, so hopefully fans will be able to find out more then. Back to WWE now, and recently the company filed a trademark for the term Def Rebel, which got fans wondering what the mysterious term meant. Though fans speculated on it being the name of a superstar, a stable, or maybe even a pay-per-view, that isn't the case. As Arena Taping explained, Arena Taping can confirm that WWE Music Group are set to return to digital music stores and streaming services as soon as next week under a new name. YouTube metadata also revealed WWE filed a trademark on Wednesday related to a new group they hired a year ago called DJ DTP. According to reports, DJ DTP has completed at least 40 theme songs for WWE, though only one has been released thus far, and fans can expect plenty more music from the group as represented by Def Rebel. One man who has had plenty of themes over the years is The Undertaker, and though the dead man's legendary career didn't end at WrestleMania like AJ Styles had hoped, it may be over soon. Since losing, the Phenomenal One has made plenty of references to the Phenom, including watching the Last Ride documentary and being trapped in an Undertaker room at Money in the Bank. And this continued following his win on SmackDown, where he said he hopes the dead man was watching. If The Undertaker does indeed have one match left in him, it could indeed be against Styles, as Kurt Angle has stated that he had a conversation with the dead man about his final match against the Phenomenal One. Fans will have to see how things play out, but it certainly seems like the Last Ride docuseries is setting the stage for one more match between the two former world champions. We have some news from Monday Night Raw. And while the company has been pushing a lot of stars as of late, one that hasn't gotten the rub is Shayna Baszler. According to this week's Wrestling Observer newsletter, Baszler was scheduled to win the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, but plans were changed to give Asuka the win. This has become an unfortunate trend for the Queen of Spades, as the Paul Heyman favorite was also reportedly booked to win this year's Women's Royal Rumble, though it's unclear whether the Money in the Bank decision was changed before or after Becky Lynch told the company about her pregnancy. A source for WrestlingNews.com said that these on-again, off-again pushes are down to Vince McMahon himself, as the boss still isn't 100% sold on Baszler as a top heel. As one of the four horsewomen of MMA and a dominant force in NXT, Baszler certainly has the skills to be a top star, though it may be quite some time before Vince McMahon comes around to the Queen of Spades on Raw. From Raw to SmackDown next, and we all know that Bray Wyatt underwent quite the transformation when he was repackaged into the Firefly Funhouse persona. And whilst there was plenty of aspects changed, there were also talks at one point about taking things further. According to Ringside News, there were once plans to bring Wyatt's Firefly Funhouse characters to life, but the idea never went anywhere. While we don't know how this gimmick would have worked, there was speculation for months that Liv Morgan was going to be repackaged as Sister Abigail, the often alluded to mysterious figure from Wyatt's past, which would have made her the living incarnation of Abby the Witch. We'll have to see whether WWE circles back around to this idea, as Wyatt has become one of the company's most popular stars, and this idea may still be picked up from the cutting room floor. We've got news regarding the sad passing of Shad Gaspard next, as The Undertaker has shared his sympathies on his tragic death. Speaking to Mario Lopez, the Phenom added that it's hard to find people as nice as Shad was in wrestling, and added, "When you talk about heroes and people that you look up to, with just that last act of what he did, you know, it just kind of tells you what a great father and human being that he was. It's just so sad." The Phenom went on to say that whilst people hate to see bad things happen, they especially hate to see it happen to a good person like Shad, and added, "You know, it's not really fair." Though Shad is sadly no longer with us, his heroic legacy continues to live on, and the wrestling world will never forget the fun-loving superstar. And finally today, we're ending with the results of AEW Double or Nothing, as the show had a stacked card and a stacked crowd. With the likes of Vicky Guerrero and Dan Lambert in the crowd, the show kicked off with the Best Friends defeating Private Party, followed by Brian Cage making his AEW debut to win the Casino Ladder match. Up next, MJF defeated Jungle Boy, while Cody Rhodes made history, defeating Lance Archer to become the very first AEW TNT champion. Though there was an awkward part of the match when AEW inexplicably cut to Mike Tyson yawning, the boxing legend more than made up for it, as he confronted Jake Roberts to stop the Hall of Famer interfering to help Archer. In a match that was supposed to feature Britt Baker, Chris Statlander defeated Penelope Ford, whilst Dustin Rhodes proved he's not retired with a win over Shawn Spears. In our second women's division match of the night, Hikaru Shida defeated Nyla Rose to capture the AEW Women's Championship, whilst Jon Moxley retained his AEW World title in a bloody brawl with Brody Lee. And in our main event, The Elite defeated the Inner Circle in the Stadium Stampede, bringing an end to yet another exciting, unpredictable night of AEW content.